Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay and choo-choo.
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wissman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. All aboard the murder train, pulling away from the station. Here we go. We got some crazy stuff for you today, as usual, but it's extra crazy, if that's possible. I don't know. It's wild stuff.
It always is, yeah.
It always is for Express. We will get into that. First of all, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets for live shows are available. The slate for 2025 is set. There is one show we've yet to announce, which will make sense why we delayed in announcing it when it comes out. Yeah, it'll be in a couple of weeks here. So I think January 14th we're releasing that. But Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, February 7th. You are up first. We are at the not in Munhall. We're in Oakland this time. At the Carnegie Music Hall. So head over there. Columbus the next night. Let's fill that bad boy up and start this year off right. Pittsburgh. Can't wait to do that. So shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get all those. Check out the fun places we're coming this year. And then after that, if you've seen live shows, you've listened to this show, you should listen to Crime and Sports and Your Stupid Opinions, our other two shows as well.
You want more?
You want more? We got more for you.
Oh, yeah.
Patreon.com/CrimeInSports, just like the other show we do. That will get you all the bonus material you could possibly ask for. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get hundreds of bonus episodes immediately upon subscription that you've never heard before. And then you get new ones every other week, one Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get it all, every last drop of it. This week, what we're going to do for Crime and Sports, back by popular demand because it's so much fun, personal ads. Oh, my God, they're fun. Find out how people navigated love before the internet, how they could...
Bizarre.
You could walk up to someone and say hello, or you could put an ad in the newspaper and then wait by your mailbox for responses. So there's that. Then for Small Town Murder, West Memphis 3, we're going to talk about that. We're going to very specifically talk about how did this happen? How did they get to the point where they said, those are our guys? How did we get there?
What's the evidence?
From without really any evidence whatsoever.
What led us there?
We'll talk all about it. There's still people that think they did it too, by the way.
Unbelievable.
That are like, those kids should fry. It's wild. Go to Reddit. It's insane. So we'll check all that out and more. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports. And you get a shout out at the end of the show as well.
You bet.
The regular show. So get into that. That said, I think it's time, everybody. Let's all sit back. What do you say collectively? And let's all take a deep breath. Arms to the sky. Let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, everybody.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, shall we?
Yeah,
Let's do it. We're going to Massachusetts. Here we go, Massachusetts. This is Chicopee, Massachusetts.
Oh, Chicopee, Mass.
Old Chicopee.
It's a nice place.
Chicopee, Mass. is in central Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's kind of like mid Massachusetts, we'll call it. Yeah. It's about an hour and a half to Boston and about 3 hours to New York City, the other direction. And it sits in the middle there. And it is 15 minutes, actually, to Agawam, which was our last Massachusetts episode, which was the music box murder. That was crazy shit. I remember that. Yeah. But this is basically... There's Springfield in the middle. Chicopee is on one, like the south side of Springfield, and Agawam is the north side of Springfield. So
how about that?
It's just on the other side of Springfield, basically. Not on purpose, just the way it worked out. Population here, 55,636, so a little more than we usually do, but it's definitely a small town in the feel and how everything works here. Median household income here, less than the national average, actually, which is odd for
Really?
Yeah, there's some towns in Massachusetts that are not affluent at all. If you remember when we drove to the dispensary there, we drove through like those weird trailer, not even parks, just those
bizarre
trailer sections of the road. When they were like, it was bad stuff.
And the whole north part of Massachusetts, every town that dots that border is like that.
It's
like Framingham, just weird
defunct industrial towns.
Yeah.
They used to have factories and make shit, and now they don't. And now they are what they are.
It's a wild state.
So median household income here, $56,509, which is well below the national average.
Very, very low.
And then median home price, Massachusetts is a pretty expensive place. That's also low, actually. $272,100, which is much lower than the national average.
I hate that we're telling everybody.
I know. Well, this isn't that great. I'm not going to end up here, so you can go you can go here all you want. Head to Chicopee all you want, people.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Nicknames here. They call it the Crossroads of New England, which makes sense in that area. It is kind of everybody goes through there to go anywhere. And then, of course, this one, which is a little less geographic, the kielbasa capital of the world. Didn't expect that, did you?
The amount of jokes that they're just leaving it.
You know?
I mean, your town's called Chicopee, for Christ's sake.
Chicopee, Chicopee, and then you got kielbasa capital of the world, which I'm sure there's, places in maybe Germany or Austria or something that would probably challenge you for that. Poland, maybe. I don't know where the hell they make
kielbasa. They said the world, huh?
The world. Not Massachusetts, not the United States. Whole world.
All right.
Little bit of history of this town. They've had a shitload of this is a big industry town, and that's the thing. All of these Massachusetts towns made shit, and they had a lot of industry and factories, and this is kind of the story of a lot of Massachusetts town.
Yeah, it's the first place they landed, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, there was cotton mills, wool mills, textiles, brass and iron foundries, paper making, footwear factories for leather boots and shoes, the first friction matches were from here.
Is that right?
Shipbuilding. Everything was here. And then, of course, the firearms company Crescent Davis specialized in producing double-barrel shotguns.
Really?
Yeah, specialized in cartoon shotguns. In the old Elmer Fudd. The Ames Manufacturing Company made machines and bronze cannons and more swords than any other American manufacturer at the time.
Who gives a fuck about kielbasa?
Yeah, they're the top sword maker, apparently.
That's amazing.
Ames cast a number of bronze statues, including the Thomas Ball's monumental equestrian statue of President George Washington installed in Boston's Public Garden. That George Washington, that was made here. The one
on the horse, yeah.
That was made here, yep. Also, they made a lot of shit for the Civil War and everything like that. They also, during the 1800s, became a major manufacturing center for bicycles. Mad Libs town. The town became site of at least two bicycle factories, the Overman Wheel Company from 1882 to 1899, and the Spalding Sporting Goods Company. Which was a big goddamn deal. That's where in the 1800s, if you wanted like a baseball glove or something like that, that's you ordered from their catalog. That's what they had.
Basketball,
Yep. So they moved to the Overman bicycles, moved to Hartford a little bit later, and basically the bicycle boom of the 1890s kind of died with cars. So that happened here. And by 1901, Overman was out of business. So there you go. Reviews of this town, 5 stars. Here we go.
They love it.
In my neighborhood, everyone is nice and kind.
Everyone. Okay.
Up my
not
street,
one dick around.
Not one asshole on the whole. Not one pissy old lady that'll keep your ball. Nothing like that. Up my street, there's an elementary school, so me and maybe most of my neighbors and their children would walk up to the school and back. I hope you have kids there, just taking a stroll. For me, it usually takes 10 minutes to get to school and back. Around this area, we've seen many different race, but everyone is so nice. Not races, just many different one race. We would sometimes play outside during the summer with our longtime neighbor, and it would be the best summer. So you were a kid and you played outside during the summer. That's a real unique experience.
Nice childhood.
Thank you for sharing your unique experience of playing outside in the summer as a child.
You didn't have to be in school. You hung out with your neighbor outside.
Wow. 3 stars here. I mean, it's okay. That's what they say. I can't really compare it to anywhere else as I've been here my whole life. Could use more stuff to do. School is meh. Yeah, it is meh. If you can't come up with a better adjective to describe it than meh, it's pretty meh.
This is a late teenager. We shouldn't even listen to any of the words they said.
Nope, not bad, just okay. Some crazy stuff do be going on here, though. That's good.
Is that right?
I'm happy to hear that. That's what I like to hear. Crazy stuff do be going on here, though. If you're around the right people, you can see actual crime going on here. Actual crime. Drugs also kind of a problem. The rinky-dink roads are home. Okay? People are either very nice or just don't care. Usually neighbors are willing to converse. Lots of Hispanic people in these buildings where I grew up. I mean, it's not exactly exciting just to exist here, but at least you don't get someone knocking on your door every day. What the fuck are you talking about? Utah? Are you saying the Mormons aren't bothering you? What are you saying?
Be up in these buildings, James.
What the be up in these buildings? Occasionally, something crazy happens. Cops are ... I don't know ... Okay,
they're cops.
They're cops. Kids here are ... Not gonna lie, kind of jerks when they get past the 3rd grade.
That's kids.
That's kids. You named it. No guarantee. There may also be some gangs going on. Off topic, but crack is just exchanged at gas stations at night. Yeah, where else are you going to buy crack? Like you pull up with all the people there. Still a nice suburb place, a kind of place you can get to know. Jesus Christ. And then finally, 1 star. A few really good neighbors, but can be dangerous depending on where you are. Some issues with collusion between the schools and other elected officials.
What?
Memorial Drive is a headache. That means that schools and officials have to, I assume, get together to figure out what they're going to do, and they don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what else they could be talking about. Things to do here. The Chicopee Kielbasa Festival, of course. It's the
there better be.
fucking capital of the world. You got to have it. Yearly Memorial Day regional festival showcasing kielbasa, Polish culture, and international foods, games, and vending and rides. We'll hold off on all the jokes.
Okay.
Of the light bulb turning,
right.
team light bulb turning and shit like that. We'll just take a step back and not even say anything.
Move along.
This is an article from 1989 about the festival from 89, where they had the world's largest kielbasa.
How big was it?
449 pounds. Holy shit. What?
Holy.
The size of a fucking horse.
How long was that?
It's insane. It took 15 minutes of the Chicopee, 15 employees of the Chicopee Provision Company, 30 minutes to stuff the King Kielbasa, which is showcased at the 4-day festival. That kielbasa is 13 pounds heavier than last year's record setter.
I got 13 more pounds of kielbasa.
Measured 26 feet 3 inches.
Holy shit.
Come get my kielbasa, everybody. And the guy said, we just try to make it bigger each year, the kielbasa.
Yeah.
That's great. And it will be after
doing it.
When it's over, the kielbasa will be cut up and donated to charities. Want a slice of kielbasa?
I mean, how big of a slice is that?
Like a pizza? Yeah, like a pizza. I think it's a large pie. That said, let's talk about some murder here.
Let's do
Oh,
it.
boy, because we got a wild one. All right, let's do this. Let's go back not very far. Pretty much the world is just about the same. August of 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, your phone looked the same. Things were the same.
Same shit, yeah.
Things are normal. Let's talk about somebody with a familiar name, but it's not the same guy. Seth Green.
Really?
Like the actor and the voice
From
actor
Massachusetts.
from Family Guy and
Massachusetts.
Rhode Island.
Is he is from Rhode Island?
Well, I just mean Chris Griffin is from Rhode Island, the Family Guy character.
I think he is from Rhode Island. Yeah.
Maybe. And Robot Chicken he did and all that kind of shit. So this is Seth Green. He's 27 years old.
Oh, Seth Green. Why did I saw Seth MacFarlane?
No. Well,
the little guy
works for Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
A little redheaded guy.
Yeah,
the guy who you go, wow, man,
the other Seth.
He looks terrible, but it's like it's. I feel bad for a guy like that because he was like a child actor, but teen actors are actually 22, so that's just what they look like. But you expect them to grow up and look different, but they don't, and then they look like just older children. But that's because that's what he was done. It's kind of a tough thing. I feel bad for old Seth Green,
but he's got so much fucking money.
He does great. So
that kid's done fantastic.
This Seth Green is 27, and he doesn't have the same amount of money. He's a construction worker. So,
oh no,
27-year-old construction worker.
Voices, Seth.
And he, please, and he just started dating a new young lady.
Hell yeah.
The relationship is less than a week old. It's like 6 days old here.
They don't even know anything about each other.
No, he met a young lady named Amanda Lynn Plasse, Plasse, Plasse. So Amanda, another Lynn, by the way, our regular small-town murder this week had both the murderer and victim had middle names of Lynn. So Lynn, or Amanda here, she's a little chick, too. She's 5'1", about 100 pounds, 20 years old, big personality. She's known very outgoing, very free-spirited. She's an artist. She has tattoos all over her. She's just like a real, kind of cool chick here. She's got big kind of curly hair, a lot of tattoos, and she loves art. That's what she likes to do here, is paint and do stuff like that. She's working as a hostess and waitress at Friendly's on Memorial Drive in Chicopee.
There you go. Yeah.
So Friendly's, if you don't know, if you're not from the East Coast, is like a family sit-down ice cream burger joint. Basically, it's like a little diner, kind of not diner, but like a little. Do they even
exist anymore?
Yeah, they're here. They're in New York.
Yeah,
we have them. Yeah, and like all the Friendly's ice cream as they sell at the grocery store here and shit. Their strawberry shortcake bars are top notch, delicious. Love them. So she's working there. I have friends that used to work at Friendly's and used to steal the giant things of ice cream.
Awesome.
Like the big,
they rolled them out the back.
The fucking 10-gallon ones, yeah. And then we put them in the car and be like, nobody has a freezer that can fit this, so we'd have to eat as much ice cream as we all could, possibly fucking, and then throw out.
Fun afternoon.
Throw out 8 gallons of ice cream. We used to steal that shit. So she's very well known to her regular customers as being real social, real energetic. People would request her as I want Amanda. Give me Amanda.
Really?
Yeah, she's the best. So that's how people are with her. Her mother said to know her is to love her. You would only have to meet her once, and you were forever her friend. She'd never forget you, nor would you forget her. Crazy curly hair, stunning green eyes, covered in tattoos, her beautiful artwork. That's what her mom says. Now, her and Seth, like I said, it's a week-old relationship, and they are already, like, enmeshed after a week.
Hot and heavy.
Hot and heavy to the point where he's already living in her apartment.
What?
I mean, they've known each other a week, and he's already, not only is he staying there every night, which would be like, things are going well, he's moving his shit in there. His stuff is there. Like, he's got a stereo and shit. Like, it's
what could you have in common with somebody to
I don't know.
Start it that fast?
Some people are like that. Some people
Really?
Yeah, some people go for relationships and try to like be really enmeshed immediately, and like they're looking to be in love. Yeah. So you get two people like that who are like love at first sight people, and especially if you're artsy and kind of free-spirited, you're not really usually they don't have the most practical thoughts as far as I barely met this guy, and you go with your feelings, and I think that's what's going on here. And he's like,
that's wild.
He's just some construction guy who's like, I'm fucking this hot art chick, dude. She's awesome, And they both smoke weed together. We'll talk about she's a cool ass chick, man. She lives, and I guess he's sort of living at 73 School Street in Chicopee in a third-story apartment. So that's where she lives. So August 25th, 2011. It's been about a week of bliss here between Seth and Amanda, and they had a quiet night that night. He got home from work, and she did her thing, and they were doing stuff. They smoked weed together that night, as they do regularly. They're both daily weed smokers, it seems like. And he is also into art stuff. He's making jewelry while Amanda is painting that night.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a real kind of an arts and crafts, not to be confused with Sarah Boone's arts and craft night, which is way different. So yeah,
it's a very chill vibe, though.
Very chill vibe. They're kicking it, smoking weed, making shit. Like, sounds fun. You order a pizza, I'll go there. It sounds good.
Sure.
Like, I'm in. So the next morning, this is the next day, August 26th, 2011, Seth leaves for work, I assume at the crack of dawn.
Probably.
Because he's a construction worker.
Or else he's late.
Or else he's goddamn late. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So she works the evening shift at Friendly's that night, so she doesn't have to get up in the morning. So Seth said he called her in the afternoon of August 26th to say that he's going to be late and couldn't pick her up to get her to her job at Friendly's by 5 o'clock, as he was supposed to. He said he could, but now he's got to stay late at work, and so he's saying, I'm going to miss you by a little bit. I can't get you there by 5. Okay. So he's telling her that a few hours ahead of time so she can get a ride, which is fine. But already he's like, they're doing like daytime calls, and I can't, but like they're already together.
Yeah, she's already relying on him for the ride tomorrow. That's fast.
So he said he got off of work and then drove to Friendly's to see if she had gotten picked up or not. And if she hadn't gotten picked up yet, he was going to grab her. So he stopped by, but she wasn't there. So he's like, oh, okay, shit. Or drop her off, I meant. See if she got dropped off and say hello to her. So he went to his grandmother's house for a little while, and then he went back to Amanda's apartment building, because he sort of lives there. Right. He's got his shit there. So when he gets back there, he sees that the porch window is broken, which isn't good. That's what he says. He says, I get there, porch window's broken. So then he opens the door, and he said, quote, as soon as I walked in, I saw some red in the kitchen. My first impression was I thought it was paint.
Oh, because she was painting?
She's painting. Yeah. She was painting that day, and that's kind of what I wanted it to be. Then I noticed it wasn't just paint around her. I kneeled next to her. Then he tried CPR, but realized that she was dead. Amanda's on the floor, blood everywhere, and dead.
And now he's got blood all over him, and this is new, and God damn it, I'm a
just
suspect.
Moved in. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
So he dialed 911, and this is all his story of what he did. He called 911. Police arrive. One of the detectives said, we met the boyfriend on the back porch. He was in the fetal position. That's not that's not saying cold-blooded right off the bat, but also people act. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Sure.
You show up, I'm sure lots of people
who
killed their whoever the fuck, or, oh God, oh no. I mean, that's, what else would you be like? Yeah, I found her. I don't know. Fuck it. Right. Hold on. I'm texting this chick. And then hold on, wait a minute. I got stuff going on here. So he said there was no forced entry into her apartment, and police believed her assailant may have known her.
Uh-oh.
So they get in there. There is blood on the floor, on the cabinet, on the counter. They find bloody shoe prints on the floor.
Oh.
Now, they're trying to determine it's either a men's size 7.5,
yeah,
a women's size 9.5,
yeah,
or a youth size 7. They have not decided yet.
That is the added bonus that I have with my baby feet.
That's you get to, yeah. You will fucking find me. You'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Look for some guy tripping over his own feet and shit. They're huge.
Or they're looking for a very small man, an average-sized woman, or a very large 12-year-old.
One of the two. Or me at 12. So they find that she has been stabbed multiple times in her side and chest, and her throat was cut as well. This is a lot. I mean, she has just been hacked up and had her throat cut.
Somebody's
so
mad. Yeah.
It's overkill, is what and the detectives describe it that way, too. They describe it as very violent, overkill, and possibly a crime of passion, because this isn't like your normal robbery killing. You know, you usually kill someone as quick as you can, not really work them over with a knife. So the bloody shoe prints, which had dried, the blood had dried on the shoe prints, which helps them determine a time of death because they can see who she was talking to and when. And after that, so they get the time of death down to between 4:10 and 5 p.m. So very specific. That is inside of an hour.
50 minutes.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's really good. A palm print is found on a broken window, on a window that was broken from the inside of the apartment.
Okay.
Which is punched out, which seems like that's to make it look like a robbery is what people would do.
Yeah, I can see
punch
that,
out.
yeah.
Nobody breaks into an apartment by punching a window out from the inside.
Right. Yeah.
Once you're in, you don't need to break windows. Just go out the door. Right. So that's another thing that's something. And they say palm prints, by the way, are individual like fingerprints, in case you don't know that.
Yes,
So if you find a palm print, that's something. So she also sustained, Amanda did, multiple blunt force injuries to her face, head, and shoulders as well.
Wow.
So she was beaten, stabbed, her throat was cut. This all seems like a lot for her, who doesn't really have any enemies or anything like that.
Very aggressive.
She had scrapes and sharp force injuries to her face, neck, chest, and abdomen, including 6 stab wounds and 2 slashes to her neck from chin to collarbone. This is a lot. There's a lot of violence, man. A lot of violence. She was found in a large pool of blood in the kitchen here. Blood stains throughout the kitchen revealed that she'd been stabbed multiple times in the course of a violent struggle.
What the hell?
Smears of her hands on cabinets, and you can tell when there's a struggle. According to the medical examiner who performed the autopsy, she died of injuries to her heart and liver, soft tissue due to stab wounds to her chest and abdomen. And they said in the course of a violent struggle, items of evidence including bodily fluids and blood, saliva, sweat, skin cells are often transferred here. So they're looking for, this is 2011, so they want DNA and shit like that. And they do fingernail scrapings and everything like that. And they do find DNA under her fingernails that does not belong to her.
Okay.
So that's an interesting thing here. The medical examiner said she bled to death from a combination of stab and cutting wounds. He said the bleeding sent her into shock, and she would have been conscious minutes before going into shock and would have definitely felt the pain. It wasn't a thing where, she was killed and didn't know what was happening. This was a struggle, and she put up a fight, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
Now, Seth Green notices that his weed that he left on the coffee table, as well as his knife, are not there.
Okay.
My knife is missing that was on the table that probably caused all these wounds, and my weed is missing, which is what I noticed when my girlfriend's been slaughtered in front of me. Hey, where's my weed? Which I guess maybe at that point I'd really need some weed, so I might notice that. Fuck.
Yeah. My pipe scraper.
He said he told the police that those are the only items he could see that were missing, were his weed and his knife. So, this is real weird stuff here. And the cops immediately do not trust Seth at all.
No.
They don't trust him.
You can't.
So they sit him down. They go, all right, Chief, let's talk polygraph. They don't even tell. The first thing they say is, well, let's do a polygraph. And he says, fine. And he passes a polygraph test.
Okay.
And also his shoe, he has an adult foot, and his shoe is not a 7.5.
Oh, man, where's a 12?
Yeah, or at least something there. So And also the palm print does not match him either. So he's cleared.
That's terrifying.
That's it. He's clear. That's what I mean. They were hoping they could wrap this up quick and set this full of shit. And his alibi was good too. He was at work till past 5.
There's somebody with a very small foot that's capable of really awful things out there.
Really bad shit. So they said the person she fought with left a large amount of DNA under her fingernails.
A large amount?
Large. I mean, she was fighting for her life. She was scratching. She was fucking clawing this guy.
She got a whole bunch of him.
Oh, yeah. They ran the DNA through the database. No matches.
Nothing.
So that sucks.
Could be a child.
They have it's tiny or a woman. Yeah. That's the other thing they're thinking.
Yeah,
this could be a woman. There's no rape or anything like that. So they're thinking this could be she might have pissed a woman off. Who knows? Does Seth Green have an ex-girlfriend and stuff like that?
There you go. Yeah.
Because that's what they're thinking. They said, no, she seemed to live, in her 1-bedroom apartment. She didn't really, have enemies. But they said that the investigator said the impression is that she definitely knew her assailant. And she probably, this wasn't a random act, it doesn't look like.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well.
Right.
And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
They said we're not locked into that, but it's the initial police theory that we're working on here. They said that there are a number of people that they've encountered while doing interviews with their friends who have information, and there are more who we know have information. We're trying to determine who we should have the most interest in. They're just trying to figure out what to do. So anyway, her mother said that she was a very happy, positive, free-spirited, bubbly, energetic person. She always had a smile on her face and bent over backwards for anyone. A friend of hers said she was just a really down-to-earth, a really good person. She loved music, especially folk and bluegrass, and played the acoustic guitar. This chick's cool.
In 2011, she's very fun.
I don't really want to listen to fucking bluegrass music that much, but it's fine. If she can play it, that's cool. That's cool shit.
I mean, in 2011, it seems like she might be the only person on the planet that loved it.
Shit, who's under the age of 60 and
right.
doesn't live in Iowa, apparently. Apparently in Iowa, they love that shit. So she was also good at tie-dye, and she would decorate shirts and blankets all the time. Her last Facebook post, she joked about sunflower power. That's the type of chick she is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's pretty cool and nice. And her boss at Friendly's said that she's literally loved by everyone. I was absolutely shocked about what happened. And by the way, they're making a plaque to hang in Friendly's of her.
Oh, that's nice.
That's really depressing as you eat your sundae.
Yeah.
As I eat my fucking banana split. That's very depressing. So
no sprinkles on that. Anything to cheer me up from that fucking plaque.
No shit. This is really depressing. So they took examination grade, as they call it, photos of the foot impressions, of the bloody footprints, and made impressions to do comparisons. And they called all the first responders back, anyone who had entered the house, photographed the bottom of their shoes, said, anybody have tiny girl feet? Any of you guys? No? Okay.
Just me? God damn it.
Yeah. They also did footwear impressions. That's one of the things that excluded Seth Green was he was wearing leather work boots that were not 7.5. So he's out. Yeah. The next step would be they found out the shoes are Nikes.
Oh.
So they contacted Nike to try to get help from them to determine what this was. They determined it's an Air Max shoe.
Okay.
And we'll talk about either a 9.5 women's or a 7.5 men. That's what they decide. Enter Mercedes-Benz. No shit. That's this woman's name, spelled exactly like the car.
Not the car.
Benz. Mercedes-Benz, one of Amanda's friends.
Oh, boy.
She's 25. She worked at Friendly's with Amanda and was her friend. She said that Amanda was loving and caring and would give you the shirt off your back. Now, she said she was texting back and forth with Amanda all day. She said at 4:20 p.m., so we can move that time of death up from between 4:20 to 5 instead of 4:10, Mercedes got a text message from Amanda that Amanda needed a ride to work. So Mercedes said that she called Amanda just before 5 when she was about to pick her up, but Amanda didn't answer the texts or her phone call. She said, quote, I sat outside about 5 minutes before I left. And she said she wasn't concerned, though, because she figured, because Mercedes was late to get there. So she figured she must have just got another ride, and now she's starting her shift and can't look at her phone.
So she showed up to the house and texted her and then took off?
And then took off while she was
my God.
inside bleeding out on her floor.
Holy shit.
Benz texted her and said, I asked her if she was mad at me because I was picking her up for work late. So she thought she was mad.
Oh, my God. The fucking guilt that girl must have.
And they're like, hey, Mercedes, what size are your feet?
Yeah.
You got
what shoes you wearing?
We got some big feet on you or not? But turns out she doesn't fit this either. Okay. She doesn't fit the palm print, anything. So, yeah, we're back to this now. Now, I was going to say, were they fighting over tables at Friendly's?
Right.
She's not pooling her tips. What's going on? What's the problem? So time goes by now.
Yeah.
We're up to October now. And in October 2011, about a month and a half goes by. And there's a guy who says he was at a party in Chicopee when a man named Gio confessed to killing Amanda. Okay, he goes to the police and says that. Now, police speak with a number of people who have been at the party and found nobody else heard any conversation like that at all. So this guy was saying it was like a conversation in the middle of the party. Like, yeah, I killed that chick, with a group of people. No one else said it happened. So then this guy, Coggins is his last name, who went to the police, he was charged with misleading the police.
Oh.
And he pleaded guilty and served a sentence of 208 days in jail for it.
He lied for real.
He lied for real for no reason. No reason, no benefit.
Asshole.
I don't know if he wants, I don't understand it. So, yeah, I guess Coggins is a weed guy. He's a weed dealer. That's what he does. Yeah. And this one guy said he talked with Coggins about doing work for him. He said Coggins, who was never paid, gave him some information, but it never led to the arrest or conviction of anyone. So he said he no longer talked to Coggins after he was arrested for misleading police. So after that, they have nothing. They have DNA, palm print, a
liar.
Liars. They got all sorts of shit, but they don't have is a viable murder suspect is the problem.
What are you going to do?
So weeks go by, months start to go by. Okay. Then next thing that happens is November of 2012. So more than a year has gone by.
Yeah.
Okay. Now at this point, this is when a detective hears a guy named Corey Los, L-O-S. He comes to a detective and says, Ryan Coggins, remember the guy who misled the police?
The little liar? Yeah.
He's in jail at this point. Not for that, for something else.
Yeah.
He's in jail with this Corey Los guy, and Corey Los came to the cops and said, this Coggins guy said he killed Amanda Plass. He told me.
This motherfucker.
He said that they were in the same pod at the jail from November 1st through November 3rd. He said on November 3rd, Coggins told him that he killed Amanda Plass. So that's what they said. Now, as a result of the report by this guy, this Los guy, about Coggins confessing, Coggins was transferred to another pod and all of that. Now, later on, though, he's going to end up kind of dismissing himself of that story, saying that really didn't happen. He won't testify to it. He'll take the fifth when asked about it. So, all right. Now, Mom is pissed.
Yeah.
As you might imagine here. This is Amanda's mom is upset. She is doing everything she can to find the murderer. She sponsored road races and posted flyers in hopes of someone coming forward with some kind of evidence. She's also calling the detectives every day. What do you got?
Yeah,
what are you doing? What are you doing today? What are you doing today, guys?
Where can I meet you? Yeah.
You're not letting this go, guys. You're going to fucking find this person. So the detectives had to keep pouring through the evidence. Not saying they wouldn't have anyway, but you got some lady's mom calling you every goddamn day. You better keep looking at that fucking file. So they decide that they look through the photos and look through everything and look in all the photos of every single room and really concentrate on them. Really,
every detail.
Detail. Maybe something got overlooked. So it's at this point where I don't know how this didn't get noticed, fucking 14 months earlier.
Is it in a picture? What'd they find?
In a picture written on a whiteboard. She has a whiteboard that she writes shit. Vertically down the side is written, Dennis was here, 8/11/11. So August 11th. 2011, which is 15 days before the murder.
Okay.
So they're like, okay, who the fuck is Dennis and how did we not see this? Number one.
Right.
Because they've exhausted everything. Every person that's been in that apartment, they've checked all their palm prints, DNA, shoes, nothing works.
Yeah.
They're at the point where they're like, there's a guy, Dennis is written on a whiteboard. Let's find
We've
who knows?
never heard of Dennis?
And we don't know. We've never interviewed a Dennis, so we don't know what's going on here. So they're like, if Dennis was here, we should interview him. Just anyone who was in that apartment, they interviewed. So they
and he was there a week
was
before
here.
She started dating this guy.
Exactly, that too.
Uh-huh.
So detectives dig through Amanda's phone records and social media messages and ask friends and family everything. Who's Dennis?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows Dennis.
Nobody's ever heard of Dennis?
I don't know fucking Dennis. So then they did a record search for anyone named Dennis who lived within like 6 blocks of her. Just anyone around there. Is there any Dennises around there? They found 2 possibilities of Dennises. Dennisi. And 2 Denni. And they cross-referenced the numbers with the ones on her cell phone records.
Yeah.
Does she know any of these people? So then they find out, more on that in a second, they find out that her apartment had previously been broken into as well.
Oh.
But it wasn't reported to the police. That's the thing. Witnesses told police that Amanda thought she knew who had broken in. And in September 2011, this was right after the murder, one witness who's a former boyfriend of hers, not Seth Green, he told investigators that Amanda thought a small Puerto Rican man who lived within a short walk and whose name he thought began with a D had broken in. Okay. He also said he had seen the man walking around the neighborhood and would recognize him. When interviewed again in 2012, in April of 2012, the ex-boyfriend said a few days after the break-in, this guy the boyfriend had stayed at Amanda's place and they were hanging out together. And he said that she called the guy who she thought had broken into her place. She got his phone number and called him. Oh. She had his phone number because she had hung out with him one time, and we'll find out why. Amanda had called them, and this is what the guy said. Amanda had called them, and I woke up. She said he was coming over to talk about it. I was there when the guy came over. It was about 5 or 10 minutes later after she called. The guy was Spanish. He was probably between 21 and 23 years old. He had short hair. He had a little facial hair that was trimmed. He was normal thin. He spoke good English. When he came over, he was with his girlfriend or wife and their kid. They walked there. They said they'd been walking, and I didn't see a car pull up. She was more heavy set, and she was Spanish, meaning the girlfriend or wife. The kid was maybe 3 or 4, a boy. The man told Amanda it was not him. She said a neighbor who lived on the 3rd floor had seen him on the porch and that he had told neighbors that he was waiting for her.
Oh.
Meaning the guy, the short Puerto Rican guy. So he was upset that she had called him without even asking. They stayed for only about 5 minutes. She told him that if he had the bowl, she wanted it back. He stole She's saying someone broke in and stole her weed pipe.
Stole my pipe.
Give my fucking
you got my
bowl
bowl
back.
Just give it back.
That's a big deal, dude. I have a bowl. Like, I've had only a few bowls that I use all the time. That they're years you keep them for. You clean them. I mean, you get a bowl that works nice and hits right. That's your bowl, man. Don't fuck with my shit. It just doesn't feel right otherwise. It's just not the same.
So funny.
He said, I know that she had the phone number on her dry erase boards, one of those white boards with a wood frame around it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so his D, small, possibly small shoes, small feet.
Sure.
So investigators attempt to identify a small, thin Hispanic male who had a confrontation with her, and so that's what they're doing. They come up with 2 Dennises, 2 Denni. Number 1 is a guy named Dennis who lives in the vicinity of her apartment. Here, the first, he had previously resided at, he doesn't live there anymore, but he had lived around there. He had an extensive board of probation record, including a number of violent crimes. Okay. Now, the woman he was living with at the time appeared to be a heavy-set white female, not a Hispanic woman like the other one. So they don't know if that's the same, or people break up and get back. Who knows? So anyway, investigators obtained her cell phone records, and his telephone number does not appear in any of their records. They really liked this guy for a second, though. Then they run into Dennis number 2. This is Dennis Rosa Roman with a dash. Rosa dash Roman. Okay, Roman, whatever. He's born in 1991. Young guy. He has a police record of breaking and entering, a number of those, drug distribution, and was convicted of domestic violence on his fiance as well.
He's so young.
He's a real full house of asshole, this guy. He's got it all. 3 kings,
what a dick.
3 kings, and 2 domestic violences. He's doing great. That's a full house, right?
I think so.
So the background search on him revealed he had all these crimes, but there's no palm print on file for him because they only take palm prints during a major crime.
Felony.
They didn't consider any of these a major crime to take a palm print. Otherwise, it's just fingerprints. So he had previously resided at 53 Cabot Street, number 2R, which is about 4 blocks from the home of Amanda.
Very close.
He resided with a heavy-set Hispanic female.
Yeah.
Things are starting to line up here. They had a 4-year-old son. Mm-hmm. This is all lining up. So they reported that on March 9th, 2011 and on March 17th, 2012, listed as the home telephone. Oh, they got his phone number here. His number does appear in her cell phone records.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. According to the records, there was a total of 9 calls between Amanda's phone and his phone. 4 of the 9 were outgoing calls from Amanda's phone. 5 were him calling her.
She wants that bowl.
She wants her fucking bowl back.
Yeah.
Don't take my shit. The duration of the calls varied from a few seconds to 89 seconds, but they all occurred on July 28th, 2011, and the last call was at 11:26 a.m. that time. Okay. So, okay, we know that. Wow. So that's what we know. Now, October 29th, 2013 is when they talked to Dennis. Yeah. So it's been 2 fucking years.
A while, yeah.
So now they talked to him. Or, I'm sorry, they talked to, based on, and like we said, this is based on the ex-boyfriend. They bring the ex-boyfriend in to say, we have this guy. Is this the guy you saw?
Is this your Dennis?
Yeah, before they say we know you were over there because the boyfriend said so, they want to make sure. Now, he said that day that Amanda had awoken him and said that she called the person he was on his way over, so could you wake up and be over here? When Dennis arrived, Amanda was on the back porch, and it was 15 minutes later. This guy said that they showed him a photo array containing 10 pictures, including Dennis, and he said none of the pictures rung a bell. However, he wrote also, I didn't see any features I could remember. I know it definitely wasn't number 6 because I know that guy. So it's definitely not. Okay. It's definitely not Frank, but it's not any of the other 9 either.
The other might be a Dennis.
There might be a Dennis. You never know. So they find Dennis here on the 29th. They call him, and he said he was busy. So they go find him on the street. And he says, I'm busy. And they go, well, you're free to go. And he wanted to walk away, but the officers just walked with him. They go, you're free to go. And he goes, okay, turns away. And then they walk with him. Well, we're free to walk with you. So one guy,
Trooper, free to go anywhere you want.
I mean, yeah, we'll follow you, but you can go there.
Yeah.
Trooper Gibbons here walked and talked with with Dennis while the other 3 officers followed. He asked what they wanted to talk about. And the trooper said that we want to go to the police station to talk with you. And he said, I don't want to go to the police station. When he was through this, he lit a cigarette, appeared very nervous. He asked what it was all about. They said, well, we don't want to talk about it on the street. We'd rather do it in the police station here. And he said that if I know what it's all about, I'll meet with you in a few days.
In a few days?
If you tell me when I'm not busy.
Yeah.
So the trooper asked him if he knew a girl from Chicopee named Amanda. He said, I know a lot of girls from Chicopee, and a few of them are named Amanda. Really?
Is that right?
How many Amandas do you know? From one town in central Massachusetts? None.
I don't know one.
I don't know any.
Giant city.
Yeah. He asked, did something happen to this girl? Because I don't ever go to Chicopee anymore. And the trooper said it was Amanda who had tattoos on her chest. Do you know that one? Tattoos, lots of tats. And he said, oh, yeah, I know her. They said, when were you last in Chicopee? He said it was a long time, couple years. When asked if he had a girlfriend in Chicopee, he said yes, all of that. He asked, can I go now? But the trooper asked him for a telephone number, saying, because he said you would call, so, just in case we get mixed up here. He finished smoking his cigarette and threw it out on the pavement. And
big dummy.
Yep. A female with a child came out of a building, and he said he had to leave because this is his girlfriend and kid. So they left.
Okay.
Trooper said, great, and picked up his fucking cigarette, obviously, and put that in the goddamn bag for later.
We'll have that.
Some DNA on that. So there's there. Later that day, Dennis and his girlfriend went to the home of a friend of theirs named Melissa Hoy. Now, Melissa Hoy is not a confidant that you should be telling things to, because I know this because she went and told the police all this shit. This guy... Yeah, Dennis told Melissa Hoy about his encounter with police. So Melissa Hoy asked him whether the investigation concerned the victim, Amanda, and he said, I don't know. So then Hoy showed him a picture of Amanda from the internet and said, was it about this chick? It was on her phone, not even on the internet. So it was off her phone. And she said that he got really quiet and put his head down.
Oh.
He admitted that he knew her and sold her weed occasionally. Okay. That night, Dennis returned to Hoy's home and apologized for lying to Hoy and his girlfriend. He said that he told them that he had gone to the victim's house to deliver weed that night, actually, of the murder. But he said he didn't kill anybody or see any death. He said he heard voices outside. From the inside, he heard voices, and he said an unknown white male opened the victim's door, grabbed the bag of weed out of his hand, and told him to get the fuck out of here and not come back. Now, when you're delivering weed, you don't have it in your hand like a pizza, by the way. It's in your pocket till you get in there.
And not in 2011.
Yeah. Jesus. So November 1st, he calls Gibbons and says that, I got to talk to you. I need to talk to you right now. Dennis calls the cops, okay? Yeah. He said that, I got to get down there. He said that it's been bothering him for 2 years since it happened. He said, I have to tell you something about that girl, Amanda. Been bothering me. The trooper asked if he would come to my office in Springfield. Dennis said no. He said, okay, well, meet me in front of the Westfield police station. Okay. So they do. They go over there. They're inside. They go. He agrees to meet with him there. So they bring him in an interview room. He's advised of his rights, waives those, everything like that. He tells officers here that he had met her once 2 weeks before the murder. He said on the day of the murder, Amanda called him to ask for weed.
Yeah.
Wanted to buy some weed. When he approached the back door, he could hear a male voice arguing with Amanda, and he knocked on the door, and an unknown male answered and took the weed from him, and that was that. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Get it going. Look good out there. And you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank. Because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good. And they have quality stuff that's very affordable. And you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmy's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us, be fashionable, get in there with Quince, indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, it's great. Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff. And I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options. Nice. It's very cool. And you can personalize this portion and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Experience furniture shopping the way it's meant to be at Mathis Home, your ultimate furniture superstore. From sofas to dining sets, from modern to classic styles, they have everything you're searching for. With over 230,000 items to choose from, you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for at a price you'll love. Plus, everything is in stock and ready for fast, free delivery right to your door. So you don't have to wait. And if you're looking to really transform your space, take advantage of our complimentary interior design services. Our expert designers are ready to help with any project, whether big or small. And right now, check out the Lazy Boy BOGO event at Mathis Home, happening now through March 1st, 2025. Buy one Lazy Boy recliner and get another one absolutely free. Don't miss this limited time offer. Only at Mathis Home, your ultimate furniture superstore.
He said he feared for his life because this unknown male and the male that had and another guy had been following him in different cars. So he goes, now they're after me. Yeah. So he said, I'm here I need protection from you guys. I need police protection.
Fascinating story.
He said, I've never been inside her apartment. That's what he says now. Never been in, which we know isn't true. He said, I've never been inside her apartment. Well, I guess they talked on the back porch when he came over one time.
Right.
So, yeah, he said that never at all, he'd never been inside, and that he identified a friend who was with him on the day that he got into the apartment. He said that he'd been hanging out with his friend, and the friend waited in the front of the home while he went around the back, and the two left together on foot after they swiped the weed out of his hand. So the cops said, hey, can we maybe get some DNA from you? And he said, yeah, sure. And then he said, didn't you guys already take a cigarette off me anyways? He fucking knew.
Oh, he saw it.
He knew. He said, I know you're investigating me no matter what. So, and anyway, he signs a statement, gives DNA. That's November 1st. November 5th, okay, they approach him at his home and request another interview. They want to do some follow-up shit. He said he's willing to speak, but he's currently babysitting his girlfriend's baby, so he can't go now.
Not even his kid.
Not even his kid. So they said, well, what if you come down to the station with the kid and we'll have an officer watch the kid at the station? I mean,
we got blocks.
We got plenty of shit. Yeah, there's those little molestation rooms we bring them in to talk about shit.
They can play with the dolls that the kids point to for trouble.
They can play with the bad spot dolls. They don't know what they're for. The kid's 4. He doesn't know that it's a molestation doll. He has no idea.
Yeah. So we call that the Bloodhound Gang doll.
Yeah, it's fine. So they do that. He says, okay. At the start of the interview, he was friendly, laughing, and then he was expressing concern that his girlfriend may be angry if she found out that he had brought her child to the police station. Okay. So he said, I really want to help you guys, though. He said, this is terrible. You guys need help. I got to help you guys out. You know what I'm saying? You need people to help. I can understand that. I'm one of those people. He said, you got questions for me, man. Let's go. Let's do it.
He's got to know they have DNA that's in question.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
What
kind of... He's ballsy, man.
Then he said, I got to get out of here before my girlfriend gets out of work. She's going to be mad at me. He said, I just have to hurry up. My girl's going to be out soon. Shit like that. My girl is getting out soon. I have the keys. I have her house keys and her phone. I'm trying to wrap this up.
Mad.
She's going to be pissed. He said that, yes, Amanda bought marijuana from him on multiple occasions, and on one occasion, they spoke on the back porch. He showed the defendant a picture of a dry erase board with the phrase, Dennis was here, written on it.
Right. Remember when this happened?
He previously denied being inside the apartment, but he admitted that, yes, he did step inside just to sign the dry erase board. But
he wrote it?
Yeah, Dennis was here. He wrote it. He said, I wrote it.
Oh, my God.
He said that the board was located by the back door and that her bedroom did not look the way it was pictured in the photograph at the time. And they said, well, how do you know this room didn't look like this? And he said, all I seen was a bed in her room. That's about it. So they said, did you ever smoke weed with her inside the apartment? And he said, yeah, I lit a bowl once in the kitchen, placed the lighter on the counter, and sat down on the couch. And then he said, well, I have been inside her house, but I just don't want people to look at me like I'm a fucking murderer. So I lie to police about it because that makes you look like less of a murderer.
So I don't tell you everything.
He then said, I seen that shit go down. I heard that shit and I'm scared. So now he's saying I was there.
Yeah. I was there during a murder.
Yeah. They said, well, we've done a lot of processing on the scene. And, he said, well, my fingerprints might be on a glass cup, on the table, on a doorknob, maybe. And he said, what did you guys find? I want to know. I bet you do.
You do.
That's
you
called.
Can't explain it away.
That's called discovery, and your lawyer will find that out after you're charged.
You'll know later.
So the cop said that they found, quote, some things underneath the victim's fingernails, and asked if he had ever had a fight with Amanda or a scuffle, and he said, no, of course not. And they said, okay, well, we're trying to find the friend that you said that was with you on the day of the murder. That you said, but we looked him up and he was in jail that day, the whole day, woke up in jail, went to bed in jail.
And then a few more days.
He said, that's impossible. And they were like, no, it's right here on the paper. He was in there.
These are state logs. He couldn't be anywhere
He's
else.
definitely there. Yeah, he was there. We know when people are in jail.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he said that, look, I went there. I gave her weed through the window at different times. She asked me about the theft in her house, which I didn't do. He said, I did write Dennis was here. We smoked weed together. After they showed him pictures of the crime scene, he became upset. And he said, you guys trying to do what? What's up? I don't have no time here. I got to go. I got to get out of here. This is crazy.
With my head now.
You guys are fucking with me. And he wanted to leave, and they said, well, we're investigating still. And he said, all right, but this, I want to know, this, I want to know, this ain't cool, he said. This ain't cool.
You guys are real good at this, and I'm not.
Yeah, this is bad. So, oh, my God. So he's like, yeah, this is fucked up. And he said, I got to go. And they said, well, why do you think she might have been killed? And he said, I don't know, maybe she owed some money or stole drugs from someone, and maybe a fucking dealer got mad at her or something. They were like, okay. Then they were asking him about the day of, she called me to get weed, and they said, well, there's no telephone records of that.
Right.
And he said, I smoked so much weed, I don't remember a lot of things, and maybe I got my days mixed up. That's what he said.
You're in your 20s, your brain's that much
that
already
fried by 21.
All right.
Yeah. So then they go to him and they go, well, what you probably can see, and what we can easily remember is these are DNA results.
Yeah.
See those? They say that, that they're under, your shit's under her fingernails. How do you explain that?
Yeah.
And he said, okay. Yeah, check it out. All right, fine. This is what happened. I tried to save her from the killer. That's what happened.
Okay. All right.
They said, well, who was the killer? And he said, I can't tell you that. I'm too scared.
She claws up her white knight.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, yeah,
Right.
that's what he said. So nearly 2 hours into the interview, by the way, Gibbons, the trooper, stepped out of the room for 9 minutes, at which time he learned that's the first time that's when the DNA came in, was then. So then he went back and was like, hey, we got your DNA. And his response was, I know the fucking murderer and I tried to save her life.
Okay.
He said, I know the motherfucker, all right? This is exact quotes. The sergeant said, you know what? And he said, I know the motherfucking murderer. I tried to save her life. And they go, what did you do? And he said, I know the fucking murderer. And they said, what did you do to try to save her life? And he said, I tried to grab her and the guy fucking tossed me down the stairs.
Look at me. I'm a little guy.
I'm a little guy. Look at my shoes. They're tiny. They said, so why don't you tell me the whole story? Tell me everything that happened. And he said, I can't. He's going to fucking kill me. And they said, well, why don't you tell me everything that happened? And he said again, he's going to fucking kill me. What the fuck do I do? And they said, well, why don't you tell us everything that happened?
Yeah.
And he said, I know the fucking murderer. That's all I know. I can't give you any more. So they're like, okay. He tried to explain. He said, I tried to grab her. The guy fucking tossed me down the stairs. Then he said, I want a lawyer. I want to go home. I want to get out of here. I want a lawyer. That's it. And he got up and tried to leave, and they said, well, you're under arrest, asshole.
Yeah.
Your DNA is under somebody's shit. He tried to resist being arrested.
Of course, yeah.
Obviously, with all of this. And he repeatedly interrupted the booking process to tell police that they had arrested the wrong person, and now you're putting his family in danger.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that is fucking wild. He said that he's sorry. He apologized for he said the victim grabbed me and I'm sorry I didn't try to save her harder. While they're driving to jail, the transporting officer, David Gagnon, what is it with cops named Gagnon? Gagnon, I don't get it. Testified there was no conversation during the transport except when Dennis asked if they could stop at his girlfriend's house to tell her that he loved her.
No,
sure,
can't do that.
Sure thing. He's a real romantic, this fucking guy. That's one thing.
You guys drop me by the Friendlies and grab a Frost.
I really want to get a sundae. They're really good. Butterscotch,
Get her
please.
a nice shake, a goodbye shake.
Fuck, man. So he is printed, and they do the major crime prints this time, informed of Miranda rights. And again, he says, at this police station, I went there to smoke. I went there to hang out with her that day. We smoked weed. I was there for about 2 hours. She told him to come back later to smoke more. He said, I lied about my friend. I wasn't with my friend, but I just wanted to say I was with my friend because I hated him and I wanted to get him into trouble. Okay. So
he's got so many stories.
He said as he approached the apartment, he could hear the victim screaming, stop, 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 stop. This isn't right. Stop, stop. He said he heard the sound of glass breaking. He pushed in the door and entered the house and found the assailant and the victim in the kitchen. He said the assailant was on top of the victim. He said he tried to separate them when the assailant pushed him back and brandished a knife.
Right.
He then said that the victim grabbed him when he tried to help her off the floor. He said he fought with the assailant and eventually was punched in the jaw repeatedly before fleeing out the door. I'm just a little guy.
Yeah.
He said, I feared for the safety of my family. That's why I lied. And they said, please identify this other person. And he said, I can't say nothing. I really can't. I hold to my word. I can't say nothing. And they said, hold to your word to who? Yeah. And they said, you're going to jail. Who are you holding words for? And he said, I know I'm going to jail, so I'm not saying no more. I'm sorry. You have to charge me with this shit. I'm done. You can try this shit, but I'm done. So, yeah. He said, he said after the murder, he looked down and said, wow, how do I get myself out of this?
Yeah.
So he wants his statements tossed, by the way.
All those, yeah. I want those out.
I want all that shit gone.
I want to do my own story, one draft.
He said officers lied and used trickery to obtain subsequent statements. Now, he said that it's all bullshit. They showed me gruesome pictures. It was very upsetting, and I wanted to stop the interview. I told them I wanted to go home, but they would not let me. That's what he said. So the cops here, or the judge here, says that no, he at one point he said, I don't know what's going on. You guys are trying to pin this on me. You guys trying to what? What's up? Because I don't have no time here. I got to go.
It's a lot of
what's up? Happening. So he said that was an invocation of his rights.
Oh.
I got to go. What's up? Which is not.
Yeah.
You have to say specific fucking things here. So basically what they rule is that everything he said is fine and it's all in, except that when he is brought out of the room and in the booking process, he said some shit. All of that is tossed out.
Use that. Yeah.
That's after he pulled his rights and everything like that.
Yeah.
But the rest of the conversations on the way to jail and everything else, and when he got to jail and started saying more shit, he was re-Mirandized. So the shit that in the room counts, the shit outside the room doesn't, and then when they get back in another room, that counts too.
Okay, all right.
So the trial comes up here. The jury is taken to both Amanda's and his apartment to see the crime scenes. They really want to take them just to walk them from one to the other to show how close they are, just to show you had an opportunity here. The Los guy was on the defense witness list because he's the guy who said that Coggins guy admitted to it. Yeah. But before the trial began, he was brought into court, and he chose to take his Fifth Amendment right to not testify.
Okay.
And that was that for that guy there. Now, in openings here, the prosecutor tells the jurors that they're going to hear from Amanda's friends. They're going to hear from Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
They're very exciting. They, who to put the time of death in there. They said, little did Mercedes-Benz know that Amanda Plass was lying in her kitchen on the floor, stabbed to death while she was texting her. She said, you'll see pictures of the crime scene showing the struggle that occurred in the kitchen and how she was stabbed all over the kitchen. All this shit. The defense said, this is insane. They said, it's not my guy. It's another guy, a drug dealer who's the killer.
Oh?
My guy doesn't want to identify him because he doesn't think the police can protect him. But, he did not do it. He knows the guy who did, though. That's what he said. He said he could have told, but he did not give up this guy's name because he's a man of honor.
Right.
That's what it is. So all the defense keeps bringing up is this Coggins guy. Well, he said he did it. Well, he said he did it. Well, he said he did it. By the way, they found out that the guy who said that Coggins said he did it and him never actually shared a pod at all.
What the fuck?
They were never together in jail. The guy made it up right out, pulled it directly from his asshole.
I wish these people would stop this shit.
Stop it. So they bring the DNA evidence. Dennis doesn't testify. It's not much of a trial.
No.
DNA evidence, footprint,
and opportunity.
His foot matches, by the way. It's a 7.5.
It's
It's ridiculous. So the whole thing is fucking crazy. During closing arguments, they say that she was killed as a part of a robbery in which he took marijuana, her cell phone, and her boyfriend's knife. That's all. It's pretty cut and dry here.
Yeah.
They said, quote, there was no other guy, just the defendant. And the defense lawyer said, everything she said but the opposite.
Right.
And then he sat down. So the jury goes out for 5 hours of deliberation, which really seems like a lot in this case. In this case,
I imagine they probably sat there trying to debate why did he do it? Like what? But why does it matter? Yeah.
Yeah. His DNA, his footprint, everything's there. He's the guy who fucking did it. I mean,
he for sure did it.
The DNA under the fingernails. I'm like,
it's
well,
over.
there you go. Yeah. Goodbye, asshole.
And footprint in her blood. You were there, dude.
Footprint in her blood and a palm print on the broken window. And you're going to say that you were trying to keep a person from killing her? That's not believable.
It's impossible. Yeah.
Guess what? No matter how afraid I am of somebody, if I'm on the fucking stand saying I'm the murderer, I'm giving that asshole up.
Yeah.
We're not in the mafia here. You know what I mean? We're just...
And the other part is like, even if he said another guy did it, well, there's no other evidence of somebody else even being there.
That's the point. Where's his DNA? Where's his footprints in the blood? He floated above the mix.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a flying
he levitated.
Drug dealer. That's
Everybody, watch out. Jesus killed her. Watch out. He floats.
The man floats.
He moves around. So he is found guilty of first-degree murder, which is in the commission of a robbery and everything else.
Not good.
Not good. During sentencing, her mom testifies and says that, this is Amanda's mom, said that she would stop and give you her jacket if she saw you in the cold, wouldn't hesitate to hand over money for food if you were standing on the corner. It didn't faze her to pick out all the red gummy bears for a child's sundae while working a shift at Friendly's. The kid who didn't like the red ones, apparently. They said that she said that a life is taken too soon. The loss is felt every day, whether it's a song, a sight, or a thought, something that is lived with every day. So obviously this is very hard on the family and everything like that. So the judge calls it an unspeakable horror.
Agreed.
That brought unbearable pain and unthinkable grief, and says to the family, to her family, you all have my utmost respect for your strength and courage. What the court can do for you, can't bring your daughter back, but I can bring justice to this case. And he might as well have said, and this asshole in front of me, you, sir, may fuck off. Life without parole for my man Dennis here.
Not bad.
So this is
Forced him to work in a chocolate factory the rest of his life.
There you go. So now shit gets real weird, by the way.
How?
Okay, this is a total side story to this trial that didn't come out for a while. 2013, 2 years after the murder, it is revealed that 2 Chicopee police officers who had been assigned to guard the door until detectives arrived took photographs with their personal cell phones. The pictures were shared with other police officers and with coaches at a youth football game.
Why do all these cops think that that's so fucking funny?
Hey, your kid's really coming along at linebacker. Want to see a chick carved up?
What the fuck,
Want to see a 20-year-old? This is Sergeant...
Bet you've seen some crazy shit. Oh, I'll send you a picture.
Oh, I got it. Sergeant Keith LeMay and Officer Terry Deck each snapped photographs of the bloody scene on the third-floor apartment with their cell phones.
Pieces of shit.
Deck passed the photograph on to 9 fellow officers. LeMay later showed a photograph while explaining the importance of not contaminating the crime scene, then sent the photo to him at his request. Then this other guy passed it on to another cop who later showed it to parents at a youth sporting event.
Yeah, way to take your job seriously, dickheads.
Wow. About 2 months later, the district attorney learned of the photo sharing and told the mayor. Said the mayor was deeply troubled by the allegations.
Yeah.
So the police chief, who was then deputy chief in charge of internal affairs, conducted an investigation. Goddard was charged with incompetence, and then incompetence. The guy in charge.
Awesome.
The officers were reprimanded and had to work some shifts without being paid. Okay. Now, the prosecutor, the district court judge, concluded they could not be prosecuted. Then the family sues the city and the police department and everybody else for unauthorized distribution of these fucking things. They said it was intentional, reckless, extreme, and outrageous, and the suit is settled for $100,000. Then Sergeant Jeffrey Goddard gets fired. You cost us $100,000.
Right.
So
you've been adjudicated incompetent.
Yeah, adjudicated a fucking moron. How's that? Good? Excellent.
You fucking. I hope you work at Friendly's, you piece of shit.
Now, in 2017, On the Case with Paul Azan does a story on here.
Sensational, yeah.
Yeah. February 2020, he gets his job back. Jeffrey Goddard gets his fucking job back. Yes, he went to a commission, a civil service commission, ruled that he would be demoted to patrolman because of his conduct. This was the second time in his career as a police officer that he won an appeal with the Civil Service Commission. In 2016, the commission ruled in his favor after he was demoted for patrolman for untruthfulness in a burglary case. Fire this asshole.
Why does he keep his job? What the fuck? Where there's smoke, there's fire. He's a bad cop. Fuck that guy.
You suck. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, Jeffrey Goddard. Please, I won't drive through your town, so you can't pull me over.
Ever. No.
Lick my ass, you fucking jerk off.
Fuck you. Eat my balls.
In my opinion, you're a terrible fucking cop.
You're an adjudicated moron. Fuck you.
Idiot. Jesus.
Badge up your ass. Fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
That guy's going to get a pension. That's fucked up.
I hope not. So the family wants a new law. And this has been going on since 2014 we want a law that says that you can't do this, basically.
Yeah, cops sharing shit is disgusting. It should be illegal.
Yeah. Amanda's sister said, we need to actually tell people they can't do this and need to make sure there's a consequence because those officers really didn't receive a consequence.
Yeah.
And they didn't. So that's the problem. By the way, Dennis appeals, saying that the police officers violated his Miranda rights throughout the booking procedure and all that kind of shit. They say, no, get the fuck out of here. Eat dicks, jerk off. So One Deadly Mistake is another show that airs an episode on this in 2022, I believe, the 2021, called Hidden in Plain Sight. Then 2022, the law is passed here. It is called Amanda's Law.
That's nice.
It's against the law in Massachusetts for first responders to take unauthorized photographs of crime scenes now.
Wow.
That's pretty interesting. They said, one of the people said, who's a mother, her mother, it's actually Amanda's mother,
mom? Yeah.
said, you could be on the internet one day and up pops an image of your child laying in a pool of blood. Once those pictures are out there, they're out there and you can't take them back.
Yeah.
She said, body cameras should never be turned off. That wasn't the issue. The issue was personal cell phones, because people are like, well, they're on body cam.
Right.
So the issue is personal cell phones and distributing them. You also need like a court order to be able to look at the body cam footage and a request to do that.
Cops don't have ability to share that with their fucking football
Yeah, they
coach.
can't download that to their phone and show everybody. Right. So it was dubbed Amanda's Law, and it was first introduced by State Rep Joe Wagner, who refiled it each time the bill failed to make it across and be passed. He kept refiling it. He said, from that tragedy will come a good piece of law that will help other families who have had family members who are victims of serious crimes. Amanda is buried at the Chicopee, Hamden County, in Chicopee and Hamden County at the St. Rose de Lima Cemetery. So she is there. Currently, Dennis is at the Sousa Baranowski Correctional Facility in maximum security, and I'm sure having a wonderful time being a very tiny man in jail.
He's in Max? Oh, boy.
Oh, fuck yeah, he's in Max. He's a fucking violent murderer.
He cut on the doll.
He stabbed a chick 6 times and cut her throat. He's in fucking Max.
He's in trouble, yeah.
You're not getting lower for that shit. So
I'd like to show that cop where on the doll he can stick his badge. That's
no
for sure.
Shit.
What a scumbag.
So anyway, that's Chicopee, Massachusetts. Crazy shit. If you like the show, please get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. It helps a fucking ton. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for live shows. February 7th is Pittsburgh. February 8th is Columbus. That's first up. Get your damn tickets right fucking
Let's
now.
go.
Let's go. We can't wait for that. That's a lot of fun. Also, patreon.com/crime and sports. Anybody $5 a month. Tons of bonus episodes this week. Personal ads for crime and sports, which of course you get. And then West Memphis 3. How the fuck did that happen?
Well,
the beginning of it.
Officer.
There you go. Patreon. Was this guy involved? Patreon.com/crime and sports. Keep coming back and seeing us. Follow us on social media at Small Town Murder on Instagram, Small Town Pod on Facebook. Keep hanging out with us and coming back. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Enjoy traffic control.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.